Last day of the holiday. Go home tomorrow evening. Thought I'd do a bit of a catch-up video really, because I haven't been able to be at home, just hit and go live, which is funny really, because I kind of missed it. I've missed you lot, missed the chat, missed your sort of banter, comments, missed the 12th man community. So big up to everyone that's here. Make sure if you're locked in already, you've hit the like and subscribe button, because we're close to 50k and we've got a little Saint special for a celebration of 50k. So let's make sure we can get there. Only a couple of thousand away it seems now nearly, so let's make sure that we hit the like button and subscribe. It's free, people, so let's do that. Just want to do a catch-up video about a few things. Positive news about William Saliba. Sounds as if he's happy at the Arsenal. Sounds like he wants to stay and wants to sign. And if I'm honest with you, if he signs a new deal, Andrea Berta take a bow. Because there's no doubt that Real Madrid are in his ear, saying, look, do what Trent did, do what Konaté is going to do, don't sign, just be happy at Arsenal for a couple of years, and then come and join Real Madrid in a couple of years' time on a free. And I've got no doubt they've tried to do that. I genuinely do believe that William Saliba is happy at Arsenal, and I also believe that it's not just I'm happy because it's a nice club. I genuinely do believe there's some history there. I think growing up, although he's a youngster, Arsenal were winning things and have known to win things when he was growing up. He obviously had some French idols there in the likes of Patrick Vieira and Thierry Henry that he would have 100% knew about, watched and grew up about, watching and grew up hearing about. So for me, I think Arsenal, sometimes people forget the history of the club, and certainly some of the younger fans will forget that what it was like over the last 2 or 3 decades. Arsenal were a team that won everything. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like Saliba is not just happy at Arsenal, he's also happy to see where this project can lead to. And I kind of get frustrated when I hear the word project, process and project and all this kind of stuff, but I think for what William Saliba is hearing and being told, that's what we believe it is now. I think he knows that he's close to winning trophies, and that's the most important thing. You know, if Arsenal were looking towards trying to squeeze into the top 4 still, or looking at getting just outside the top 4, maybe they were in a Newcastle or Chelsea or Aston Villa position where they're not guaranteed Champions League over the last couple of years, I think maybe things would be a little bit different. Maybe you'd be looking at Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Maybe you'd be looking at Militao's injury problems and Rudiger not getting any younger, thinking I could play alongside a top centre-half. Saliba and Konaté are clearly the two that Real Madrid want. They've got Dean Howson now as well, who's another promising upcoming youngster. So there's no doubt that he will probably play for Real Madrid one day. My thinking is that he'll get to 27, 28, look at what he's won already, look at the position he's in, and probably go to Real Madrid anyway, whether he's won or not at Arsenal. But it's really important that we keep him now, because if we lost him, I'd be seriously worried, devastated and saddened that we've had one of the best centre-halves that we've seen in a long time as that young kind of age, and not been able to win anything with him. I'd actually feel probably similar to the kind of ilk of Cesc Fabregas when he left Arsenal, because I genuinely did feel that although he won an FA Cup with us, while he should have won more, but he should have actually lifted some trophies as the captain, because he was a good captain for Arsenal. I don't care what anyone says. And I appreciated at the time why he would want to go back to Barcelona and win trophies. Saliba, I've got to be honest, I don't care who you are, when Real Madrid come knocking, it's a different knock, people. It's a different knock. As Trent Alexander has found, as Jude Bellingham has found, as we've seen players over the years, whether it's Figo's, whether it's Beckham's, whether it's Zidane's, doesn't matter how good or bad you are, somebody says Real Madrid want you, your ears prick up and you listen, because it's the best club in the world without a doubt. So I think we're going to find every season rumours, links, Saliba to Real Madrid. We had it with Vieira, we've had it with Thierry Henry, we've had it with Dennis Bergkamp and Cesc Fabregas over the years. He wants to go here, or players want him here, or this club wants him, rah rah rah. But it sounds like, and big up to the AFTV boys out there doing a great job, by the way. Big up to Curtis, big up to Lee Judges, big up to Cecil, big up to all the guys, Robbie James, Turkish, that are all out there at the moment. But the sounds and the signs, the murmurings are looking pretty good for Saliba signing a deal. And I have to say big up to Andrea Berta, because if he can get Saka signed, Saliba signed, on top of Gabriel, Ethan and Miles Lewis-Skelly, who have all signed, You're only really looking at Gabriel Martinelli with 2 years left and an option. Everybody else is pretty much signed up for the long-term future of the Arsenal football club. So I think it's a really good deal, if I'm honest, if we can get him and Saka signed up. But Andrea Berta does deserve credit for the players bought in, but he also deserves credit for the players that he's potentially going to be selling, and of course signing up to a new contract. So for me, I think it's going to be a very interesting window for Arsenal. If Saliba and Saka can sign on top of what's already been done, and we look towards the signings of maybe an Eze, and let's not even talk about Rodrigo's dream, right? I think it could be exceptional and an unbelievable summer for Arsenal, but a brilliant first window for Andrea Berta. And I think that he deserves the plaudits, to be honest, at the moment. People keep asking me, what would you rate the window at the moment? Andrea Berta's come in, we've obviously brought in Kepa, we've looked to bring in Norgard and Zubamendi, we've also brought in Noni Madueke. Now Gyökeres has been brought in alongside Christian Mosquera. I think the Gyökeres deal takes it to a 7 already on its own. I've got to be honest. A 6 or a 7 is something that I would give it already. I think putting Eze and Rodrigo on top of this now would easily make it an 8.59. Because you've got to look at it. Am I happy with every single signing? 2 things. 1, no. 2, not sure because I ain't seen them yet. That's what you've got to say. Do I want that signing? Was he on my list? Absolutely not. Was Kepa on my list? Was Norgard? Was Mosquera? Was Madueke? No. So people will be listening to this thinking, well, it must be a 4 out of 10 then, Dan. Well, I can't rate it yet, because something my good friend Kenny Ken said was you have to really judge it around about March, April, because you don't quite know how it's going to pan out for the season. Madueke could turn into Saka. You could look at Mosquera and think, oh, I thought Saliba was good, he's unbelievable. You'd look at Gyökeres and think, crikey, this guy's got 30 goals already. You have no idea what's going to happen, right? I can only rate it for what I think right now. And I'll tell you this. I'm not amazed by the Kepa signing. I'm not amazed by Mosquera, but I'm intrigued. I don't think Zubamendi's going to be a bad signing, a great signing, or a good signing. I think he's going to be clever business, because for me, it's an upgrade on Thomas Partey and Jorginho. Christian Norgard likewise has come in. I don't think that we've massively downgraded in many positions. I think we've either upgraded or we've kept the same. So for example, Kepa is no worse than Neto. Nobody can tell me that he's worse than Neto, right? In fact, some would say he's better. Mosquera, nobody can tell me that he's worse than Tomiyasu. He might be worse technically, he might not be as ready, but Tomiyasu's not fit. So he's clearly better because his availability is there. Madueke, I don't think is a massive upgrade, but you know what? It is an upgrade on Nelson and Sterling. I don't think Norgard's a huge upgrade on Jorginho, but he's no worse than. And I don't think that Zubamendi is an upgrade on Partey, but he's no worse than. But one thing I do know, Victor Gyökeres is a huge upgrade on Havertz and Jesus. And I said it the other day, even put them together and Gyökeres is better. Now let's look at towards the kind of next set of business that we're looking to do. Eberechi Eze is £68 million. There's a release clause. It sounds like we can pay it in 3 instalments of £20 million and then £8 million as a bonus. Now Arsenal are going to try and get that down. Normally I would look at it and go, Edu, what you're doing, just go pay it. One thing I'll say about Andrea Berta, I've got a little bit more faith in him than Edu, right? Now obviously he knows what he's doing, he's an experienced head. His CV proves that he can buy and sell players. I think if there's anyone that can get this down, it would be Andrea Berta. Now I will say on the other hand, and to kind of come against that a little bit, to caveat that, I don't think that we should be trying to get it much more down. I look at what players are going for, and if Eze's got that release clause, I would appreciate that. At 26, 27, he's ready now. He's scored big goals. He's Premier League proven. He's coming in to the squad to absolutely elevate it in terms of our depth. I think that Ødegaard and Martinelli's position could be under threat if Eze's coming in, and I think it should be. Every player should be able to look behind them and think, I've got to perform here because this guy's coming from my place. And we've seen the individual performances of late of Ethan Nwaneri and of course lately of Max Dowman. And I've got to be honest, I think a lot of people should be worried because those two, they ain't mucking around. They're ready now. But Eze coming in gives us strength in depth. He can play wide, although I don't think he's a winger. He can play in the 10 role. And I still think he could play attacking 8. So I think that's going to be a brilliant signing. He's clearly an Arsenal fan. He clearly wants Arsenal. He was at Arsenal, a youngster. Got released at 12 years old. probably wants to prove a point. Premier League proven, scored in big games against Manchester City in the cup final and sub-final of the FA Cup. I think it'd be perfect. But does that prevent us from doing anything else? Now, a lot of people are talking about us selling players. I think it's no shock that we're going to be. Zinchenko looks like he's going to go. I don't know if it's a loan with an obligation, but it's probably going to be a player that's off. I believe, personally, Fabio Vieira will go. Lokonga will go. I think Reece Nelson will go. I've not seen all of them put in the shop window. Fabio Vieira and Lokonga have not been used yet in pre-season. Zinchenko and Nelson have. There's rumours that Trossard and Jesus could be actually moved out the door. Don't know who's interested in both Jesus and Trossard, but there's rumours of Saudi Arabia and, of course, Brazil for Jesus. Once we start to see a few players leave, I wonder if we'll start to see Eze and then other players linked. That's my thinking. Now, I'll say this lastly. Rodrigo, he's gone quiet. Doesn't look like there's a genuine club that have the most interest in him at the moment. But there's clubs that are interested in him. Now, let me just give a little scenario of what I think is where we're at the moment with Rodrigo. I don't think we're going to get Rodrigo. I personally don't. I think we're going to be in a scenario where potentially we're going to see Rodrigo linked with a lot of clubs, and he'll end up going to a Manchester City, a Bayern Munich, or dare I say a Chelsea over Arsenal. I don't think Liverpool will want him now. Now, I could be wrong. If Darwin Nunez goes, that means they've lost Darwin Nunez, Jota, rest in peace, Luis Diaz, who looks like he's going to Bayern Munich, and they bought in Ekitike, they're going for Isak. That means there's room for one more, and that's if Harvey Elliott doesn't leave either. So I still think that they could be all out to go for Rodrigo as well, but you've got to be looking at how much Liverpool are spending. Ekitike, Mark Guehi, he's still rumoured to go in. They've already spent a lot of money on Wirtz, Kirkes, and of course Frimpong. They've got Mamadashvili. Isak's the guy they're looking at getting. Are they going to go all out to get Rodrigo as well as that? It would be mad if they did. I wanted to finish lastly on Max Dowman. Rival fans are rattled. They're rattled that we've got a baller on our hands. They're rattled that at 15 years old they've not seen anything like him. And you know what's hilarious? I love winding them up. Because I put something on Twitter yesterday and people are going mad about it. I literally tweeted saying, have you ever seen anyone as good as Max Dowman at 15 years old? Throw me some names. Now, that does not mean this is the best 15-year-old I've ever seen and no one comes near him. Messi, no, nowhere near as good. Ronaldo, nowhere as good. Rooney, nowhere near as good. What that means is, throw me some names that you think were as good as Dowman at 15. And everyone's lost their heads about it. Rooney was better, what you talking about? You ain't got a clue. Your Mal's better. It was only 2 years ago he was balling out. Cristiano Ronaldo, I saw Wayne Rooney at 14. I saw Jack Wilshere. I saw Michael Owen, rah, rah, rah. All these names, and I'm thinking, wow, my point is proven. One, you're rattled. And two, when you're putting him in the company of those names, we've got a baller, people. We've got a baller. So, keep getting riled. Keep getting annoyed. Rival fans, keep crying. Max Dowman is a gooner. He's a big Arsenal fan. He wants to stay at Arsenal. And he's got an opportunity to play a lot of minutes this season. Because we're in 4 competitions. Carabao Cup minutes will happen. I believe he'll get some Premier League minutes and some Champions League minutes, as well as the FA Cup games that we play as well. Along with Ethan Nwaneri, we've got 2 bright sparks here that are going to get minutes. Miles Lewis-Skelly has already made his way into the first team, and it doesn't look like he's budging. So Arsenal's team's young, Arsenal team's strong, and it's finally got strength in depth. And do you know what? Long may it continue, because fans are crying. We've now got a bench that can consist of some youth academy players. Yeah? If you look at our bench right now, we've got Kepa as the backup goalkeeper. We've got Ben White, that's on the bench when Timber's back. We've got Kivior, who proved himself. We've got Calafiori, who's still a player that a lot of people wanted when we signed him. We've got Mosquera, who's just literally been a part of the new summer's team. We've got Norgard, that's going to be sitting on the bench, who's a Premier League proven captain of Brentford. We've got quality in Eze if he comes in. But on top of that, Max Dowman and Ethan Nwaneri have just been spoken about. On top of the signing of Madueke, Trossard or Martinelli are going to sit on that bench, as is Kai Havertz. That is a serious bench. We have no more excuses, people. Trophies have got to come to Arsenal this season, and I'm ready for it. Listen, that's all from me. Nice little catch-up video. Big up to every single one of you. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, because we're so close to 50k, man. So hit the subscribe button, it's free. Even if you never watch me again, just help the channel out. Big up to the 12th man community, and I'll see you on the next one. Big up, people.